Our next speaker of this Wavy Tunnel Pro Mastermind is Neil Bradford, and he is going to show us how to find high quality trades using the Wavy Tunnel Pro Elite Scanner. He's going to show us what he does every day on Mondays and Wednesdays in the New York and London trading rooms. So listen up. Neil is an amazing presenter, a great mentor, and a great coach. Over to you, Neil.
Thank you, Jody. Well, that was an excellent session from you, and I really want to impress upon people that what Jody was addressing is probably the most important part of becoming a successful trader. The technical stuff, anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Actually making trades is technical, but it's understanding yourself that's the most important thing, and understanding the market. You cannot decide to manipulate how the market moves. You cannot force trades. You have to sit back, having done your analysis, and wait for them to come to you. Trading is an ambushing job. You ambush the market when it comes to you. So if you have only 2 hours in a day to do trading, you don't have enough time in those 2 hours to trade a 15-minute or hourly chart. The market dictates that you either scalp on the 1 minute or you trade the 4-hour or the daily chart, because you don't have time in an hour and a half or 2 hours to trade, for example, the 15-minute chart or the hourly chart. You could sit there for 2 hours and there wouldn't be an hourly chart trade present itself to you, because it's just the wrong moment in the cycle. So you have to start thinking about the market dictating to you how you can trade best. Anyway, that was just a run-in, really. A little bit about me. I started probably like most of you. I signed up for emails. I signed up for ticker tape type information. I was led into looking at fundamentals, and eventually I became a technical trader, and I now no longer subscribe to anything at all. I want to keep my trading simple, and I want to focus on my technical trading. And part of that came good when I bumped into Jody on the internet and started looking at the Wavy tunnel system. And the Wavy tunnel system began my journey of looking into high probability trade setups. Every single system out there that's successful must rely on high probability. You have to see a pattern setup that, in most cases, results in a certain outcome. If it doesn't, you're not trading. It's not a trading system. You're just gambling. So you must have a system. And I have to say, once I found Jody and the Wavy tunnel, I stopped looking. I didn't go for any more introductory sessions on other systems. I just stuck with Wavy tunnel and got really into it. And then Shamsul came along, and he had a slightly different view on things. He traded his own system, but used Wavy tunnel to complement it when he learnt Wavy tunnel. And so I'm working the other way now. I'm starting with Wavy tunnel and what Shamsel has to teach you later on and in his training complements Wavy Tunnel perfectly. I found the best way, and I hope you take this on board, the best way to train your brain, which Jodie's been talking about, is to do backtesting. It speeds up the process. Pick one aspect of your technical trading and learn to spot it on charts until it becomes a second nature. And we'll look at that in a few minutes. Now, as a result of our work, we have developed a suite of tools unique and bespoke to Wavy Tunnel. And they, if you understand them, they provide a platform for stress-free trading because your probability of success is very high. We have one trade, one particular style of trade, which is in the region of 94% successful. Why would you trade anything else? So I'm going to show you how you can take advantage of some of these. We'll get to the charts in a second. You can combine what I'm telling you with what you've learned from Jodie and what you're going to learn later from Shamsel, hopefully. And just to go back to some of the things Jodie was talking about, just for a very quick visit, trading can be both tedious and boring, and Jodie touched on that. And while you're waiting for a trade to set up, it's easy to lose focus. If you're waiting for a profit level to be reached, it's easy to lose focus. And our tools also automate that process. So you can sit back and enjoy your trading, have fun with it, and don't be stressed. You don't have to stare at charts all the time that you're actually trading. Right, so we're using the tools to take the donkey work out of finding trades initially. Our scanner finds trades for us. So we don't have to plow through multiple instruments and multiple time frames looking for opportunities. Use the technology. The scanner does it for you. We can also use the tools to let us know when key events take place, when certain levels are reached, when certain events happen that trigger a need to assess when it's time to actually take a trade. When you see one on the horizon, when the scanner tells you there's a trade on the horizon, you can then use the other tools to let you know when it's actually ready to go. Okay, so we do that. And similarly with taking profit. And similarly, you could use them for moving stops. So you're not continually staring at the screen and watching price action. And I find that for me, and everybody's different, but I find that de-stresses my trading experience and simplifies it, makes it more enjoyable. So the big thing, and Jodie's touched on this, is if you are disciplined and stick to what we teach, and you're patient enough to wait for the right setup, then you'll be consistently successful using our high probability trades. But only if you follow the rules. And I used to joke about trading with a couple of ladies, one on each knee, discipline and patience with me all the time. Essential and fun. We have included, or I personally have a list of over 40 high probability events. And some of these you already know, but it's worth making a note of them, because then you realize what they really are and what they actually mean. And some of them are unique to the Wavy Tunnel Pro system. So let's start with our primary advanced indicator suite, and we'll run through it very quickly. Let me just get my annotation tool working. There it is. And we have the Wavy tunnel. This is a 15-minute time frame. This is the tunnel. The purple lines here are the wave. And this single line here, is it green or blue? It depends how it's set up. Doesn't matter what color it is the filter. And those form the basics of the Wavy tunnel system. This single black line is simply the tunnel on the next higher time frame. And it's often very useful to see that. Okay. Then we have the bungees. Now, don't be put off looking at the bungees. This is the bungee strand down here. We call it the bungee because, as you can see, sometimes the weaker strands stretch away from the stronger strands. And when price action allows it, they snap back to form a cord, if you like, a bungee cord altogether. And it looks a mess, I agree, but you learn to look at that as 6 different indicators all in the same chart window. We are either looking at the red or the green or the black, and they all mean something. And it's you soon find that you train your brain to isolate one element of the bungees and make sense of it. Okay. So that's the bungees. Next, the awesome oscillator, this at the bottom, which is a unique form of MACD. Very useful for establishing divergence. Very useful using that divergence to help confirm wave counts with Elliott wave theory, which is included in Jodie's training course, by the way. It's not just about Wavy tunnel. Wavy tunnel is wrapped up very closely with Elliott wave theory. And then the semaphores. And those are these diamonds you see on the chart. They are simply the ends of moves. That's all they are. They're the ends of moves. So, for example, let me get a color for you. Let's choose blue. For example, we have a move down here between blue semaphores, a move up here, a move down here, a move up here, move down here, and so on. Yeah, you get the picture. The reason I'm joining the reds and the yellows as well is because they all stack up on top of each other. Okay, so they're the small moves. The red ones are the next size of move up, fractal moves in the market. And hopefully you can see, I needn't go any further with the other colours. There's red, there's blue, there's yellow, there's these grey arrows, which we use for the next size up. They sit on top of a yellow. And then there are purple arrows, which sit on top of a a grey arrow and everything else. Underneath that purple arrow at the bottom there are grey, yellow diamond, red diamond, and blue diamond. Now, if we had all the trend lines for these moves on the chart, you wouldn't see the wood for the trees. And that's why we just have these diamonds at the end of each move. But if you understand what you're looking at, they make more sense. Okay. So it's you will learn about those. It all looks very complicated, but over the years that I've been using this, I have never felt the need for anything else on my charts. These are like the curbstones in the road, keeping me on the straight and narrow. They're like the white and yellow lines painted on the road, telling me what to do and how to stay safe. Next, we have the trend lines. Now, this is where our software really comes into its own, because these trend lines have not been drawn by me. They are unique trend lines to our system, and they're drawn automatically by our indicator, and they predict a move, and when that move is complete, they automatically disappear and new ones appear. Brilliant. Takes all the work out of it. Absolutely brilliant. There are 4, and I've chosen this particular chart because there are 4 different colours and they're all on here. There's the magenta one, the blue one, the red one, and the yellow one. They all mean different things. Right. I want to show you now a video from backtesting. Okay, just to show you a little bit of how these things work. And we're going to take quite some time over this. Unfortunately, I hadn't realized if I put a video into PowerPoint, I had not appreciated and still don't appreciate how I can click on the screen to start and stop it without moving to the next slide because I've clicked the mouse. So for that, I apologize. I need really to swat up on that. So I'm going to have to drop back into this mode where I can actually start the thing moving and stop it again. So here we go. Let's work through a chart and see what happens. We already have a trend line drawn here that's in red. And there we now have a new trend line drawn by the software automatically. And that tells us that if price action moves across it, it will continue until we get another red semaphore on the opposite side of price action. And there it did it. Now we know with high probability, very high, probably over 80% reliable, that this market will continue down until we get another red semaphore. Now, how good is that? You can see the future. If you can see the future, how easy is it to make money? Yeah, it's like knowing which horse is going to win the race. Now, I appreciate this is only a 15-minute chart, and I appreciate the moves aren't dramatic. But the rules, the same rules apply to all time frames, to all instruments. Yeah, commodities, futures, stocks, forex, the whole shebang. And it matters not whether you're trading a 1-minute chart or a weekly chart. Okay, so let's advance this a little bit further. Whoa, what a surprise, we got a lower red semaphore. Now that's not just because I've picked a particular section to back test. That is exactly as I've told you, it happens with very high probability. It's very rare that you cross that trend line that the software drew and do not get a red semaphore on the other side of price action. Now, think about your Wavy Tunnel Pro trades. Some of you may not have even heard of them yet and don't understand what they are. If you have a Wavy Tunnel Pro trade, that addition to the Wavy Tunnel Pro trade helps you stay in a trade longer until you meet your profit. If you're waiting for a red semaphore, you don't need to even think about exiting the trade, even if it retraces, because you've got all the confidence in the world that this is going to continue in your direction and come back to where you want it to be, the red semaphore. Right, let's watch price action now. This red trend line that's been drawn tells us we're going to go for a grey arrow. And we just crossed it. So now I can trade long for a grey arrow. Let's see what happens. Bit of a retrace going on. Not bothered, not worried at all. There it is. So I'm interested to know, has that impressed you? Has that excited you? Has that made you want to know more? Because it should do. Yeah, and there's no bull here. This is exactly how it works. Okay. Now you will also find that these semaphores, these diamonds, in their final resting place, line up with the price action analysis that Shamsel's going to show you. And very often they line up with the target areas with the Wavy Tunnel trades. This just helps you along. Right, we'll just let this run a bit more if you like. There it goes. There we are. Right. We now have a yellow trend line drawn. And I can tell you, because I know, that underneath that yellow trend line is also a red trend line. If price breaks a red trend line, what happens to it? You've already learnt that. We go for a grey arrow. Well, it's a similar thing with a yellow. So we've got two trend lines, one on top of the other, both telling us we're going for a grey arrow if we cross it. We crossed it. Sell. There it is. Now, it was a fast move. I'll give you that. We didn't know a fast move was coming, but we did know we were going down for a grey arrow. More likely than not. Okay. And that's what I use in my trading. I use this. Right. I think I've seen all I want to see on that chart. So what I'm going to do is actually move back to the beginning and show you something else. Okay, this time I want you to look down at the bungees down here that we talked about. And I will hopefully show you something else that's equally as exciting, equally as reliable, in fact, sometimes more so. And to start with, we'll just look, I think, at the, well, let's just find what we can get here. We missed that one, didn't we? Let's rerun that because we missed it. So now we have down here the red bungee we're going to watch. And when the red bungee moves, now some people will measure it past the middle of the channel, or some will say when it gets right to the bottom of the channel. That also marries up with a red semaphore, red diamond. So if we run this sequence again, whoop, we're there, sell it. Now this is a double whammy, isn't it? Because we've also got the trendline break that we looked at earlier. Not only that is telling us we're going to trade for a red semaphore, but this red bungee is telling us we're going to trade for a red semaphore. So we've got two reasons to believe we're going down until we get a red semaphore so we can sell it. And sure enough, as you know, we did come down for a red semaphore. Right, let's just see where we get to now. This time, I think, having looked at that, the best thing to do is to look at the green bungee. Watch the green strand, okay? Right, we've come up, the red bungee's crossed the channel, we've got a red diamond. Look where the green bungee is, it's come above halfway. Very high probability that we will achieve a yellow semaphore. There it is. Now, obviously on a 15-minute chart, on that particular instance, it wasn't far away. But if we were at the correct point in the wave cycle and we'd had a retrace here of 62%, we still need an upper yellow semaphore. So we could wait till the retrace finishes and we could start trading long down here with a very short stop. And the trade would get us more pips. Okay, so sometimes these semaphores appear almost immediately, and sometimes they're quite a long way off, and you can make an awful lot on the trade. You will also notice, I think, if you look at the chart, let's try and run it. Oh no, I need to get my tool back. The yellow strand has moved across the channel while price actions moved to another grey arrow. So if the yellow bungee gets to the top of the channel and you still do not have a yellow arrow, you know you can stay in your trade until you get one. Or conversely, you know that if you're looking for a sell, there's no point thinking about a sell until that grey arrow has appeared. Yes, Randy, the red trend line break predicts a grey noble, a grey arrow. Absolutely right. The magenta one predicts a red diamond. The blue one predicts a yellow diamond. And the yellow one is a bit special. You don't have to worry about that now. Initially it predicts a grey one, as the same as as the red trend line. Okay. We can keep that going. We can have a look at a few more if you want. When you see all the bungees at the top of the channel, up here, which way do you want to trade? What sort of trade are you looking for, a buy or a sell? Have a guess. Let's see it in the text. We've got one buy and three sells, two buys and three sells. Anybody else? Two buys and four sells. Five sells. Well, the sellers win. If the bungees are at the top of the channel like that, the sellers are the winners, and all you're looking for is the end of the swing move. And there are various ways to find the end of that move, which you can learn about candlesticks. Shamsel's going to perhaps talk to you about a swing point, the end of a swing move. And all you need to do is wait for that to happen. As it's going up here, you're still waiting. You're not selling it. You're not selling it. All these bungees are staying high. But sooner or later, it's got to go down. It just will. Now, it might not go to a new low below that purple arrow, but it'll be a retrace of some sort. It might go all the way down. Depends where you are in the cycle. So let's look. And we went slightly higher. We went to the R1 daily pivot. There's a surprise. We came past it slightly. And we came down. Look what happened with the red and blue bungees here. They came down. We came down for a red semaphore because the red bungee crossed the channel. And then we went back up again. And now once again, we've got all the bungee strands at the top of the channel. So at some point, we're going to come down again. You know it. Oh, what a surprise. There it is. What do you think will happen next? Where should this go? Where should it go? And why should it go? Well, we know the prediction. The high probability with the green bungee coming below halfway, the prediction is that it will come down for a yellow semaphore. Now, bear in mind, sideways action can get in the way of things like that. Extended sideways action can mess with the outcome. But we believe we're coming down for a yellow semaphore with high probability. And the reason I've highlighted this is to say to you, if it does not work, if we go up instead of down, it doesn't mean the prediction's a waste of time. High probability does not mean 100%. And Jody alluded to that. in what she was telling you. All you need is to be successful a large percentage of the time, certainly well above 50%. And most of these are in the region of, I would think, between 75 and 94. I'll show you the 94% trade in a minute. So let's keep going and see what happens. Up or down, what do we think? It went up and failed, and then it came down. Okay, so that's going to happen. Yeah, now obviously I knew that because I've seen through this backtesting sequence before. But I just wanted to point that out to you and illustrate the fact that it's not 100%. If it was 100%, then word would get out, the whole world would try and trade the same, and there'd be no trading because there'd be nobody to take the opposite view. Nothing in trading is 100%. No system that I've ever heard of or come across, or that any traders that I've spoken to have ever heard of or come across, because 100% is, well, it's just not practical for trading, is it, really? All you need is high probability. All you need is 80 out of 100 to come good, and you're a winner. Your account's growing. I don't think there was much else to say on this. We had that big jump down, didn't we? That's fair enough. We will go to some live charts, I think, in a minute. Right, I'm just going to go back, if you don't mind, to here, because there's another trade I want to talk to you about, and it's this high, this extreme, this swing point. And we've seen how some of these indicators, some of these diamonds move to the right for a new high, move to the right for a new high. And how do you know when it's finished? Well, our most successful trade is when, after we get that upper extreme, the purple arrow, our royal semaphore, we have what's called a royal cross, and this is where the wave and the tunnel come in. And I'll tell you when it happens, and then you can see it for yourself. Whoops. Keep jumping backwards by clicking on the wrong spot. My mouse shifted. There we are. Right. At that point there, when price was here, we know that this is coming down for another purple arrow, a royal semaphore, on the opposite side of price. On the move up, it wasn't as easy to trade because it was right there. In fact, the purple semaphore, purple arrow appeared first before the wave crossed the tunnel. But in this instance, the waves crossed the tunnel and we do not have the lower royal semaphore yet. So we can trade short. Now, let's clear everything off all those arrows off the screen. Would you trade short now, knowing that 94% chance of coming down for a royal semaphore? Let's see how much you've learned already. Let's see how keen you are to learn a system that is so easy to follow if you pick at it bit by bit and don't swamp yourself with it all at once, if you train your brain. So, good place to sell or not? Type in sell or wait. Sell or wait. Wait. Right, everybody who said wait, why wait? A technical reason I want. Up the blue semaphore, Adrian, yeah. What is strong support, Clong? What is the strong support? The price action across the page. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. Red semaphore, I don't know what that means. That means you're waiting for an upper red. Why are you waiting for an upper red? What's telling you need an upper red? These are the things you have to think about when you're doing technical trading. It's not technical unless you've got a reason to believe it. So if you say to yourself, I'm going to go short, or I'm going to go long, or I think the market's going to retrace, or whatever, please do yourself a favor and at the end of that sentence add the word because and complete the sentence then. I think it's going to move up because I think I'm going to go short because, and you must have technical analysis to support that view. If you don't have technical analysis that's back tested and proved to be high probability to support that view, then it's a guess. And we don't trade guesses. Now, that's nothing to do with me. It's to do with you. It's nothing to do with embarrassment with being in public. It's to do with you and your own brain. If you take nothing else away from this whole 4 hours, at least take that away. And it says, when you make a decision, you have to support it with the word because and proper technical analysis that supports it. It's going up because the green bungees reached the middle of the channel. So we must be going up for a yellow semaphore. And when you've trained your brain to spot things like that, it's so easy. Okay, so let's run the sequence a bit longer. We know where it goes because we've been through this bit of back testing this video. We've been through it a few times. Oh dear, that one didn't work. But we still got our lower royal up with 94% accuracy. 94% successful. We came down for that royal. Now, maybe that green bungee, maybe we should have looked for a steeper move rather than drifting up slowly. So when you see something like that, you back test it. And you go into your back testing and you run through it and you look for instances where the bungee comes up slowly and drifts up like that. And if you find that that has a higher rate of failure, then you know to incorporate that into your rules. Right. Let's go back to the presentation. It's doing it now. Wasn't doing it earlier. Oh well. So that's just a taster of our advanced indicator and all its elements. I'm going to run out of time if I don't hurry up. The advanced indicator has a lot of properties. Here's a list of them. They're very small to see. But they allow you to customize the way things display, what displays, what doesn't display. There's a whole section here on alerts. And it's that section that that I use quite regularly. So let's go look at a live version. And then you can see better what those parameters are. So here's a live chart. And if I click into the indicator properties, here's the list. So we can decide which trend lines to show, which not to show. So you don't get information you don't want. If you're not interested in the smaller moves, then just don't show the trend lines. We can set it to give us some alerts in this section here. And this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant, because down here, I've got those alerts. Well, I haven't on this particular chart, but I could have those alerts set to true so that they go to MetaTrader on a mobile device, on a tablet or on a phone. So you can set an alert for a noble semaphore, a grey arrow, and you can go do the washing up. And when your phone pings off, you know to come back to your desk and start thinking about action on your part relating to what that semaphore means. Is it time to take profit? Is it time to think about entering a trade? Yeah. So we can get alerts for the trend line breaks, for all the different semaphores: royal, noble, yellow, red, blue, upper and lower. So if you use that, you don't need to calculate targets. Who uses Fibonacci to calculate targets? And how successful is it? Really, how successful is it? Do you actually know whether it's going to be the 50% or the 62% or the 78% or the 88%? Do you know which one it's going to be? Well, you don't have to think about any of that until your semaphore appears, until your target appears from the trend line break, or you might have other reasons. So that just tells you how customizable it is. Now I'm going to have to be really quick here, I'm afraid. So let's go back to the slideshow. And move on. I don't want to run into somebody else's time. This chart, I might even bypass this, I think. It was just to show you that the grey arrows always appear on opposite sides of the wave in the tunnel. You learn things like that. The yellow ones always appear on opposite sides of the wave. So it's just another little thing that if you know that, it helps you with your trading. I'm going to move quickly past that because I want to show you the scanner. This is brilliant. My trading session always starts with the scanner. That tells me where the trades are. Then I look at a chart with the advanced indicator on it, just to double check what the scanner's telling me and make decisions about key points. And then I use the alerts to tell me when those key points are going to occur. Right? So let's go look at the scanner. My apologies here because I forgot to set it going. That's a slide too far. So here is our scanner.
Neil, take an extra 5 minutes if you need it.
Okay. Thank you, Jody. Right, let's temporarily end the show and go to the scanner. And this is it. We're only really interested in this left-hand side of the scanner. This is where the new trades are. And mine is set up. I can show you how it's set up. Indicator list. Very similar to the advanced indicator. It uses the same set of rules. We have similar alerts available on it. I'm going to quickly run through this. We can dictate our own list of instruments that we want it to work on. We can customize up to 3 different lists. We can customize it to show our own timeframes that we're interested in. In this case, I've just set it for short-term timeframes, but it could be just the hour, the 4 hour, the daily and the weekly, for example. And then down here, we tell it what type of trades we want it to show, breakout 1, breakout 4, which you'll learn about with the training. Here in the breakout 1 column, which I've clicked on, all these at the top here are, the way I've set it up, are Royal Cross trades where there's still potential to make money because they haven't reached the target yet. Right? So Euro USD M1, I haven't prepared for this because this is a live chart, but we can go to the Euro USD. Which chart was it? An M1? Forgot what it said. Euro USD M1. M1 chart. Right. Here it is. So the scanner has told us that we have a royal semaphore and prices cross the wave in the tunnel. We can buy this anywhere after that, anywhere, and we'll have a successful trade. There's no such thing as missing the trade. Now, obviously, if we can get a good retrace, a wave 2 maybe, and then go up, we get a shorter stop, we get a trade that goes further, and we make more money. Now, it would be really useful if sometime between now and the end of the session that this actually gave us that upper royal semaphore just to prove it. But we don't have to look at that. So that's one example of the scanner taking all the donkey work out. All these are Royal Cross trades where there's money still to be made. Excited? You should be. Yeah. These columns are showing us trend line breaks. There's a yellow line 2 candles ago. We've just had a red line break telling us that we're the New Zealand USD, a long trade because it's green, has just broken the noble red trend line and it's going up for a noble semaphore. That's the blue line. and that's the smallest one down here for a red semaphore. Aussie CAD M1 for a red semaphore. Aussie CAD M1 for a red semaphore. Aussie CAD M1. Oh, it's already done it, look. We were a bit slow coming to it. In it, one candle after it crossed the trend line, it shot up and it got the red semaphore. So there, it told us this candle here, because when you learn about it, I know that underneath that blue line is a red line, so that's why it's gone there. The line has now disappeared, and that's because once the target is met, the software automatically deletes it. Let's go back to this extreme column. Remember I said we were looking here for a royal semaphore. All these in white below have just had one. So we're looking for a retrace. Let's pick the euro pound M1. 12 candles ago, we hit an extreme. So we must be in a bit of a correction there. Okay. So euro pound. "12 candles ago on the M1 chart, we hit an extreme." There it is. Now we can analyze this and say, well, do we think it's going higher, or are we in for what might be in the wavy tunnel land, a price to wave, retrace and fill the gap trade? In this case, I think it's going to make a new high. Okay, so if it makes a new high, it will reappear on the scanner now at the end of this current candle. It always does it on candle close. And it'll reappear on the scanner as one candle ago we hit the extreme, and we're still looking for a reversal. So it's helping you to find reversals because these move to the right. It's helping you find the end of a trend and helping you find one of my favorite wavy tunnel trades, which is the price to wave fill the gap correction. There it is. It's just changed display. Look, euro pound M1, one candle ago, we hit an extreme. Starts all over again. Absolutely brilliant. It does all the work for you. Finding trades. All you have to do is learn to read these numbers, go to the chart, prove it for yourself, and make your trading decision. Right, very quickly back to the presentation. So yes, my personal style is to keep trading as simple and stress-free as I can. And I hope I've proved to you that using the Wavy Tunnel Pro tools and that actually learning what you get taught can lead you to a position where you can and will make money. Yeah. So I hope that what I've shown you fires your imagination. It certainly impressed me when I first came across it, and I'm very proud to be part of having developed it on. So very quickly, we can't go to charts to look because I've run out of time already. We already did look at some charts to identify. Maybe your questions relate to Wavy Tunnel Pro. Leave those till the end and talk to Jodie about them. All I say to you now is thank you for listening to me. I hope you listen right through to the end of the whole session. Always follow your decisions with the word because, and then answer it. Always. Because that will lead you to becoming a successful technical trader. Be disciplined, follow the rules, be patient, wait for the trades to come to you. You can't force them. If you have a set of rules for trading short, don't trade short until the market has proved that your set of rules have been conformed with. But most of all, have fun, enjoy it. It shouldn't be stress-free. And with that, I'll hand you back to Jodie.
Okay, Neil, this was phenomenal. Leave your screen on for a sec.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So at the end, I'm going to show you how you can participate in the Wavy Tunnel Pro Accelerated Trading and Training Program mentorship and coaching. And after seeing Neil's presentation, you're going to want to do it if it's even to go into Neil's trading room and learn how to really, really use the system, no matter what trading platform you use. We are on 5 different trading platforms. Neil is showing you the MT4 platform, but we have MotiveWave, we have TradeStation, we have Ninja Trader, we have Wealth Charts. So whatever we also have, so I'm going to give you a bonus at the end with another platform that most people use as an extra platform that you can get into because we don't market it, but we do have this on. Well, I'm not going to mention it now. So thank you, Neil, and and yes, yes, you
Use,
got it. A few
use
people.
the trading rooms, attend the trading rooms, ask questions in the trading rooms, and we will show you what you've learnt in Jodie's training and make sure that you get it. Make sure that you understand it by going over it over and over again. Yeah, there's no such thing as a silly question. And it's not about being the best. It's not about a competition. It's not about being proud or vain or embarrassed. It's simply about advancing your trading to the next level and coming away from each training session and each trading room being that little bit more confident and a little bit more able.
Exactly. No matter what you trade. Some of you trade stocks and options. Some of you trade futures. Some of you trade Forex. No matter what you trade, you can use the system and you can learn from Neil because Neil can really put any of the instruments on the trading platform. And if you come with a question, he can help analyze it for you in the room. Am I overstepping, Neil? Or is that correct?
No, I can do. I personally tend to trade Forex because I've got more than enough to deal with in Forex. I don't need to look elsewhere. But I appreciate that some people have their favorites. But I will emphasize that whatever you learn on Forex, the same applies to other instruments. The other markets are slightly different in that they tend to be in a continuous move up with retraces. So they're slightly different, but the rules are the same with the indicators.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording now so that we can get ready for Shamsel.
Thank you, Jodie.